Now, when we last left off, you guys had left Dextros, the flying city, in pursuit.
City.
Yes, in pursuit of a man named Arthur Sin, who had escaped your I guess
Clutches.
clutches. Yes, you learned through some various contacts and through some interrogation. You learned he had fled to Osla, the city of pleasure.
Slut.
Yes. You boarded an airship called the Puff Dragon, which, after a few days' travel over the deep woods, it was attacked by some dragons.
We discovered it was also housing dragons.
Yes.
Yes.
You managed to escape, and you landed in the deep woods. You then trekked through the deep woods for maybe a day or two before you came across a tiefling gentleman named Belladonna, who said he would guide you to his village. And that's where we left off.
Like the flower, like the poison.
That's up to you.
What does Tiefling look like?
What does he look like?
Yeah, what does he look like?
He's got deep red skin. He's only got one horn. The other one is either broken or under his hair.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's wearing-
emo.
Yes, he's wearing leathers, dark brown, and he carries a bow and a short sword with him.
Okay.
Huh.
Edgy red boy.
Edgy.
He's taking us to a village where, like, a bunch of people who are shunned by society live. That's what I
Sounds like
remember.
Octavian's kind of people.
Excuse me? What was that?
So, after you collect your things from your little campsite, he gestures and you follow him into the woods. He doesn't have a light source with him, but he seems to trek through the undergrowth quite easily, avoiding large insects and tree roots.
Hmm.
Okay.
Octavian. Mars. I'm Octavian. Mars.
Yeah,
Mars. I'm telepathically speaking with you now.
and Mars is just talking out loud.
Don't talk out loud.
I feel like when Octavian does, like, Mars, and Mars just goes, yeah? I feel like he actually did that out loud.
Shh. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Scale of 1 to 10, how much do we trust this tiefling guy? Don't say this out loud!
He says out loud, maybe a 5 or a 6.
Okay, great.
Belladonna kind of looks back and says, "What's a 5 or a 6?"
Oh, nothing.
Oh, you know, the types of bugs I've seen on the way here.
I'm just talking to the crazy person inside my head.
He goes, "Well, if you've seen some insects, you haven't seen the worst of them yet.
Oh,
Great.
you don't say.
Have you run into any spiders yet?"
Oh,
Oh my god, there are fucking spiders here.
well, of course there's fucking spiders!
He
I
goes,
thought the
Oh,
worst
big
we'd
bad
have to
guy.
deal with was the woodpecker.
No, it's spiders!
"How about mammoth deer? Have you encountered any of those?"
Yes.
"Oh, you have. Was it a
Yes.
male or female?"
I believe it was male. It had antlers.
He goes, "Well, then you're lucky. If it was a female, it probably would have eaten you."
Oh, that's great. Wow, how awesome.
The females are about twice the size of the males.
Ah, great.
How does that work?
You know, it's called... I just ask why these things are the way they are, Mars.
No, but just like, how do they breed?
A step stool.
Belladonna kind of
And
laughs,
honestly-
and he says, "I've never seen them breed, but I know they do it."
Can you hear it? Is it very loud and annoying?
He goes, "Not in the village. They tend to
Oh.
stay away from us.
Honestly, though, I'm nuts.
Willowsburg is quite safe."
Oh, good.
Willowsburg.
Bird.
What a
Oh.
name.
Honestly, I'm not surprised that a deer would eat us, though. Have you ever seen a deer eat a baby bird out of the nest?
No.
It's disturbing.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Well, we're close to Willowsburg now. It shouldn't be much farther. And after maybe about 10 minutes of light trekking, eventually you come to this large, one of the trees, one of the towering trees. It looks like it has fallen, and it just extends to the left and the right into the darkness. And he kind of goes along the side and starts walking towards the left. And as he goes, it starts getting narrower and narrower until you all come to what looks like the top of the tree, the branches sticking out and jutting across. And you see little holes in the side of the tree, illuminated with maybe firelight, and a large set of carved out doors.
Is it in the tree?
He goes, yes.
Oh.
Not quite sure who founded the city, but or not city, town. But it's safe inside. The trees are pretty strong. And he kind of approaches the gate. He approaches the gate and shouts up. He goes, it's Belladonna, I have company. And after a few minutes, the gates kind of hesitantly open. And another tiefling, a woman, pops her head out. She's a little older. She kind of scans the lot of you, just getting a quick read on you. She kind of huffs and then opens the door more for you to climb inside.
Once we're inside, what do we see? Or like how many people?
It's well illuminated, so you don't need to make a perception check or anything. Looks like they've hollowed out the tree, and along the walls are just little shacks or ramshackle buildings that scale up to the top with scaffolding of stairs that climb it. You see maybe 10 or 20 people kind of perusing through this, what would be a main thoroughfare of the center of the tree, just kind of walking back and forth. But it doesn't look too populated. It looks like maybe 500 people live here.
500?
500.
Well, I mean, that's enough to keep a village going.
I mean, I guess.
The first thing you do notice, though, is they're all tieflings.
Oh no. I'm sensing outcast by societies actually just means tiefling racism.
What's wrong with tiefling racism? No, I'm kidding.
and the secret of Octavian's
Yes.
background is emerged.
I'm a racist! No. No, so wait, is this one tree that has all these buildings, or is it
Yes.
like multiple trees?
It's one tree.
Wow.
Remember, the trees
I'm
are about the
surprised.
size of mountains.
Yeah, these trees are massive here.
I'm surprised the woodpeckers aren't a problem.
Because those little bastards can be annoying, but they tend to stick to the living trees, and they tend to stick up much higher, away from the undergrowth.
I have a question,
Yes.
Mr. Belladonna.
Yes, yes.
If a tree falls in this forest, is everyone made aware of it with how massive they are?
He goes, it depends on how far away it is, but these trees don't fall too often.
Okay.
They live for a very long time. This one, who knows why it fell, but even after it fell, it becomes part of the forest and it lives on. We inhabit the upper portion of the tree, and the roots, those are the tree hooks home.
The what?
The what?
The tree hooks.
What the hell is a tree hook?
It's this weird thing that lives in the roots of trees. It's got hooks for hands.
Oh my god.
Like a horned hooker or a hooked horner or whatever they're called?
He goes, you call them what you like, I call them tree hooks.
Alright. By any chance, does your town go to the top of the tree to where you have daylight and sunlight?
Remember, the tree's fallen.
Oh.
So he goes, we don't see daylight too often. We kind of just live in perpetual twilight or darkness, depending on the weather.
Okay, well, hey.
It
do you know-
rain often?
Is there someone in town who knows a way out of the forest?
Because I could take you out.
Oh, thank God.
Because I've been to the neighboring town, Iron Post, many times.
And that's outside of the forest?
It is, yes, it is outside the forest.
Oh, thank the gods.
But he goes, but for tonight you are our guests. You're welcome to stay. We'll We can travel some other time. But
That's fine.
if you're looking for room and board, there's always the Hell Pit Tavern.
Hell Pit Tavern.
Yes. It's...
Oh my god.
We are... and he kind of gestures to the crowd of tieflings that have gathered. And he says, we are technically from the Hells.
I mean, like, maybe lineage-wise, sure. But...
Lineage-wise. Not... I don't
Is it-
think any of us are directly from the Hells, but...
Was the tavern like Avernus themed?
He goes, here, I'll take you.
Great.
I have a question.
I'm not
Yes.
sure how.
So, how long has this village existed for?
He kind of scratches his chin and says, I've been here for 40 years now. It's no one knows who founded it. There's no written records. It's just kind of always been here. And it's kind of something whispered amongst tieflings if they need a safe home.
See, but
I mean, we accept all peoples, but it's mostly tieflings. This continent isn't very kind to them.
Huh.
And I almost
You
chose
invited
Tiefling
me.
for this game.
Dextros doesn't show any. I mean, there's tieflings all over Dextros.
Because yeah, Dextros, it's hard to explain. It's more of a southern thing.
I see.
You don't say.
Wow.
Well, I've never been to the south. I've only been living in Dextros.
He goes, I've never been to Dextros, but I hear it's a welcoming place.
It is.
I hate it.
Yeah, all of the people are super nice and won't let Octavian pretend to get mugged.
There's that one guy. That one guy.
Who's always just inexplicably there.
Was he on the ship? I forget. Was he on the
He
ship?
was not on the ship.
Okay.
He was outside the ship.
I wish he was on the ship.
He was
One
waving you
time,
goodbye.
Motherfucker. Fucking piece of shit.
But he goes, here, I'll take you to the tavern.
Hmm.
And he begins walking to the left. And
Not
as you-
sure how comfortable I am going to a tavern called the Hell's Furnace.
Hell's
The
Pit.
Hell Pit.
You're not comfortable. I'm an Azamar. I'm really
Yeah, right?
Well, I'm a priest.
I'm perfectly fine. I'm an undead abomination.
I'm
gonna
pretty
walk
sure
my ass
you.
right in.
I'm pretty sure you are from Hell, Octavian.
Celestial heritage.
I wasn't born. I clawed my way out of hell.
But he begins leading you through the town. And you do see people kind of stop and look. And you see most are tieflings. But every now and then you'll see maybe a half-orc or an eladrin.
Hmm.
But no elves other than the eladrin. And no humans.
So, in other words, more victims of racism.
But
Why
eventually...
would a ladrin be here? That's odd. They usually
Are you saying
live in
that
the
out loud?
Feywild. No.
Okay.
I a little bit, yeah. I'm just kind of saying under my breath, kind of like, odd that it's only a ladrin and not other types of elves. As like, a ladrin are from the Feywild,
Belladonna kind of hears it and he says, well, this forest has a connection to the Feywild. They come and go as they see fit.
Ah.
We don't have many.
Ah, that's why all the bugs are so freaking big.
Ugh.
He goes, it's quite delicious too.
That's not true at all. I wouldn't know.
And as he begins to lead you, you see, as you move forward, you see a small crowd gathered, maybe 50 people, looking down into a small pit. And you hear shouting and commotion coming from it.
What's that, a chicken fight?
He goes, no, that is the fighting pit where disagreements are settled.
Hmm,
Yeah, that's what I said.
Fascinating.
And he kind of leads you past it as people are shouting and hollering. But he leads you to a small set of stairs that spiral up to a larger building that's kind of built into the tree. And as you get closer, you see it actually goes outside of the tree.